Welcome once again to our question and answer sessions. We shall begin with the first question.
Question number one from Karuna, Taiwan. After I practice using the observation of the five khandhas, my mind is peaceful, but when I observe my defilements, there are still avijja arising. How can I cut off avijja defilement?
In order to cut off avijja, you have to see the three characteristics of existence in the five khandhas. You have to see the body as anicca, dukkha, anatta. You have to see the vedana, sanya, sankhara, vinyana as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then you will be able to let go of your attachment to the five khandhas. Once you have let go, then it means you will no longer have avijja regarding the five khandhas.
Question number two. How to eliminate the defilement of conceit, mana?
You just have to think of yourself as something very low, like a servant. The Buddha said, treat yourself like the dirt. Think of yourself like earth, in which people step upon. Try to reduce yourself to the lowest denominator, so that you can then get rid of your conceit.
Question number three. How can I change my practice from mindfulness of mind to mindfulness of Dhamma?
By contemplating on the three characteristic nature of Dhamma, you are contemplating on Dhamma. Anything that you see or hear or feel or touch, when you see them as anicca, dukkha, anatta, then you are contemplating on Dhamma.
Question number four from Dali. Many of us Western Buddhists are lacking in faith. Can Ajahn explain what is faith and what is the best way for Western Buddhists to cultivate more faith?
Faith in Buddhism is faith in the Buddha, in the Dhamma, his teaching, and in the noble disciple. Faith means we believe that they are enlightened persons. They are teachers. They are like professors who have graduated from the university, who have the knowledge to teach us. This is the faith that we have on the Buddha, not as a supernatural being, not as someone who will save us from our sin. They don't do this for us. They only teach us how to liberate our mind from all forms of suffering. So this is the faith in Buddhism, is to believe that the Buddha and his noble disciple has become enlightened. They know how to get rid of all the suffering that they have experienced in the mind. Now they bring this knowledge and give it to us. They are like teachers. We are like students. So we should have faith in that. If we want to learn how to become enlightened, how to be liberated from suffering, then we have to have faith in them. Faith that they have already liberated themselves from suffering.
Question number five. I enjoy listening to Dhamma talks. What is the best way to listen to the talks? Is it okay to listen to Dhamma talks while doing other activities, such as doing walking meditation, sitting meditation, or doing other chores?
Basically, if you listen to Dhamma talk, you should stop all other activities to be able to reap the full benefits from your listening of the talk. If you do something else at the same time, your attention might be divided, so you might not get full benefit from what you hear. If you want to get the full benefit, then you should pay full attention to what you are listening to at that time. So the best way is to be still, mentally, physically, and verbally still. Your body sits still. You don't converse or talk with anybody. And mentally, your mind don't think about other things. Only pay attention to the talk that you are listening. then you might be able to become enlightened. If that talk can elucidate and open up your mind to the truth.
Question number 6 from Michael. In practicing sitting meditation, I am able to silence my mind, but I still feel sensations in the body. I never experienced the mind detaching from the body and entering into Appana Samadhi. I also experienced a continuous sound in the ear. That is a hindrance. Is there anything Ajahn could suggest to get my mind into deeper Samadhi?
You just need to concentrate on your meditation object more. Just keep concentrating. If you use your breath, just keep watching your breath. Don't pay attention to the result that you get so far. Just keep on concentrating, focusing on your attention on your breath. If you use a mantra, just keep reciting the mantra. Because you haven't got to the final destination yet. If you stop, then you only get there halfway.
Question number 7 from Kevin. When I meditate, I try to focus my awareness on my breath. At first, I feel peaceful and calm, but after a period of time, my mind keeps generating images or stories to distract me. My mind split into two, one that wants to focus on my breath, the other part that wants to distract. In this situation, what should I do to get into Samadhi?
It means your mindfulness has weakened. So you might have to regenerate your mindfulness, maybe by getting up and do walking meditation to create more mindfulness before you can come back and continue with your meditation. Or if you can, try to persist with your attention watching your breath and try to ignore things that try to distract you. If somehow you persist to continue on watching your breath, then eventually the distraction will disappear and your mind will be able to enter into calm. So these are two methods. Continue on meditating and disregarding the distraction. Try to focus on your meditation object. If you find it impossible to do, then you might have to get up and do walking meditation.
Question number 8. How to overcome laziness in meditation?
You just have to use diligence to overcome laziness. The way to become diligent is to reflect on death. Think that life is uncertain. You can die any day, any time. So while you're still alive, why wasting this precious time? Because once you die, you would no longer be able to meditate. So this can help you. Just think of death. Or else you can think of your teachers, like the Buddha and his noble disciple. Use them as your role model. They are not lazy. That's why they become enlightened. If they are lazy like you, they would not become your teacher today.
Question number 9 from Gerard. With regards to vipassana meditation, which produce wisdom, how will I know that my wisdom is available when I need it? What is the tool to measure wisdom?
When in time of crisis, like when you go to see a doctor, and the doctor said you have cancer, then if you reacted badly, it means you failed the test. If you remain calm and peaceful and not disturbed by the news, then it means you passed the test. It means you understand the nature of the body. You know that the body will eventually have to get sick and will eventually have to die. But you are no longer attached to your body because you see the body as not yourself. So this is the time. It's only during the time of crisis when you are afflicted with some form of stress or suffering, and you manage to use wisdom to eliminate it. Then you know that your wisdom is real. It works.
Question number 10 from Jeffrey. What does Vipassana Bhavana entail? Does it include the reflection of Dhamma in daily life?
Vipassana actually has two stages. The first stage we call doing the homework. Like when you go to school, teacher give you homework to do, so that you will know how to pass the examination when you take the examination. If you don't prepare yourself for the examination by not doing the homework, when you take the examination, you might not be able to pass it. So when you contemplate on the three characteristics of existence, on asubha, unwholesome parts of the body, you are actually doing the homework. You are accumulating this knowledge, so that when the time comes for you to rely on this knowledge, you will have this knowledge to use to get rid of your stress and your suffering. So Vipassana has two levels. The first level is doing the homework. And when you run into a problem, you might become stressful, then you use the Vipassana, the homework that you have done, to apply to get rid of the suffering, the stress. Then this is taking the test, taking the examination.
Question number 11 from Leon. Ajahn mentioned in the book that meditation is actually developing the seed of wisdom in the mind. How to develop the seed of loving kindness to fight anger and negative actions?
Same thing, you just have to understand the nature of loving kindness. What is loving kindness? Loving kindness is forgiving. So you have to learn to forgive. When people do something which cause you to become angry, you have to forgive that person. If you can forgive that person, then you will not be angry. And loving kindness have four characteristics. One is forgiving. Second is not hurting other people physically or mentally. Thirdly, not to cause any difficulties or problem for other people. And fourthly, to give other people happiness. So these are the way of having loving kindness. And you have to do it by practice, not by reciting or chanting the verses. You have to actually apply it in your daily life. When somebody says something bad, make you angry, you say, okay, I forgive you, no problem. When you want to do something, you make sure you don't hurt other people, physically or mentally. Whatever you want to do, you want to cause any harm to other people besides the body and mind, maybe property or their way of life, for instance. And if you anytime want to make people happy, if you have something to share with them. Be a Santa Claus, not just during Christmas. Be Santa Claus all year round. This is the practice of metta, loving kindness.
Question number 12 from Nicholas. I was in a monastery practicing meditation for a few months, but due to the pandemic, I have to come back home and resume my regular life. It has been very hard for me to leave the monastic environment. Could Ajahn give me any advice about how to handle this?
Well, you have to use wisdom also. This is anicca also, impermanent. Things changes, situation changes. You have to change from one place to another place. So if you have wisdom, you will have no problem with changing. You will accept reality when it comes up upon you. Now it's time for you to move. Okay, move. This is anicca. If you cling to the past, cling to staying in the monastery, then you find it difficult to leave the monastery. So as a practitioner, you don't want to cling to anything. You must be ready to eject yourself from everything. like a pilot on a plane, fighter pilot. When it's time for him to eject from the plane, he just ejects. Yeah. So when it's time for you to eject from things or people, or even your body, you have to do it. Then you will have no suffering, no pain.
Question number 13 from Deborah. I had privilege of taking a week off from my kids and husband to go for practice, but now I feel bad that I have to go back to my work because it undoes all the practice I put in. How do I improve my attitude and accept that I have to keep going back to level 0?
You just have to accept your situation, your karma makes you to be under this situation. But you can maybe gradually steadily try to move you away from this situation. Try to do more practice whenever you can. And waiting for the right moment eventually might come along. Your kids will eventually grow up. Your husband might die before his time. You never know things gonna happen, what's gonna happen. And when you have prepared yourself to practice, then when you have the green light, then you can go. But right now you have to think yourself as stuck to the red light in the intersection. So there's nothing you can do, just have to wait for the green light.
Question number 14 from Annie. After my brain surgery, I become visually impaired. Subsequently, I was depressed due to the death of my dog. I meditated on it, and during meditation, I can hear my heartbeat very loudly. Is this an insight meditation? Am I meditating correctly by focusing on the sound of my heartbeat?
No. Your heartbeat is just an object. Yeah. That sometimes you hear it, sometimes you don't. Yeah. It's not a good meditation object because it's very hard to hear it. Yeah. So it's better to use your breath because it's more obvious. But if you cannot use your breath or your heartbeat, you can use the mantra as your meditation object. Yeah. The goal of meditating is to calm your mind, to stop you from thinking. Because when you think, you can get all sorts of emotion, especially bad emotions. When you stop thinking, then this bad emotion will disappear, and you feel happy and light, and problem that you thought you had will temporarily disappear from your mind. Yeah.
Question number 15 from Nana. How to attain Nibbana while we live out our daily lives?
Well, you somehow have to be able to get rid of all your defilements. If you have no greed, hatred, or delusion, then you can attain to Nibbana. But in your daily life, it's probably almost impossible because you are surrounded by your greed, hatred, and delusion. So you have to relocate. You have to separate yourself from your daily life activity and go live alone. Then you might be able to get rid of your defilement that way.
And can we use Nibbana as an object of meditation?
If you don't have it, how can you use it? Nibbana is not something you can just imagine. You haven't seen it, you don't know what it is. So how can you use Nibbana as an object? Except if you use the word like the mantra. Instead of using Bhutto, Bhutto, you can use Nibbana, Nibbana. But it's just a word, not Nibbana itself. You can use this in order to prevent your mind from thinking, from generating bad emotions, and to calm your mind and make your mind peaceful and happy.
Question number 17. Many people experience fear and confusion at the moment before death. How to guide our mind to have a positive and happy thoughts at the moment before death?
You have to learn how to meditate. See? If you know how to meditate, then you can guide your mind to be calm and peaceful at the time of death.
Question number 18. Is euthanasia the right action to perform to a person who has been in coma for more than 3 years?
No, it's wrong because it's killing. What you can do with a person who is in coma is to stop treating him, like stop giving food, water, air, and so forth, and let him exist naturally. If the body cannot exist, then they will die naturally that way. Then it's not killing. Stop treating is not killing, but to give euthanasia, this is killing.
Question number 19 from Shia. After I do good actions, can I transfer that merits to my parents who are still alive?
No, merits can only be translated to the dead, and it's a very small portion of it. That's all. So if the person is alive, then you should encourage them to do good karma. Then they will reap the full benefit of the good karma.
Question number 20 from Isabel. I believe that someone I loved who died in 2016 has been reaching out to me. Can Ajahn please advise on how to communicate with beings in another realm?
Well, you have to have this psychic power. If you have no psychic power, then it's not possible for you to contact the people in the spiritual world.
Question number 21 from Yen. When I meditate, can I recite the name of the Amitabha Buddha while focusing on my breath?
Yes, yes.
Question number 22. When someone passed away, will the person reincarnate immediately or will he reincarnate within 49 days after passing away?
It takes a while before you can come back to become human being again, because you have to go through the spiritual world according to the good and bad karma that you had performed while you were still alive, before you can return back to become a human again. So it will be a while before you return. It depends on how much good or bad karma you perform while you're alive. Yeah. Then you will have to go and reap the fruit of your karma first. After you have reaped the fruit of your karma, then you can return and be born as a human again.
Question number 23 from Monica. How should I watch my mind before I go to sleep so that the mind will be inactive when I am sleeping?
Just watch your breath. If you watch your breath, then you'll stop your mind from thinking. Then your mind will be peaceful and calm.
Question number 24 from Lenny. I experience strong urge of happiness, love, and compassion in my sleep. This happened every night for 2 weeks. Is this rapture that occurs in jhana? Can jhana occur in sleep?
It's not jhana, but it's something that the result of what you did in your waking hours. If you have been compassionate and kind to people, when you sleep, this state of compassion and kindness can arise in your sleep.
Question number 25 from Alex. I dreamed of the spirits of a family with 3 kids. They asked me to offer merits twice a week. Is it okay to offer food and clothing to the spirits and also to our ancestors? And after that, do we have to discard the food?
No, you have to give the food to some poor people, some who need your food. And then you can transfer the merit to them, not the food itself. The food is just a means of creating merit, which is something that spiritual beings can accept. They cannot accept the food.
And question number 26. Is it okay to offer food to the spirits in the house I am renting? If yes, where should I put the food, near the roadside or indoor?
You cannot offer food, human food, for the spiritual beings. You can only offer spiritual food, which is good karma that you do, like giving food to the monks or giving food to poor people. Then you can transfer this merit that you make, this good karma can become food for the spiritual beings.
Question number 27 from Liu. In the Patidana Gatha, it mentioned all beings in this universe in 3 planes, 4 kinds of birth, with 5 aggregates, or 1 or 4 wanderings on. What do 3 planes, 4 kinds of births, with 5 aggregates, or 1 or 4 parts mean?
3 planes of existence are the planes in samsara. You have the plane of sensual pleasure. You have the plane of rupa, which are the jhanas, and the plane of the arupa jhanas. These are the 3 planes of existence. People who crave for sensual desire will be born in the sensual realm. People who practice jhana will be born in the rupa realm. People who can enter into arupa jhana will enter the arupa realm. These are the 3 realms of existence that all beings will go to after their death. As far as the 5 khandas, we know that, and the 4 khanda are the nama khanda, and the 1 khanda is the body.
Question number 28. Is the realization of Nibbana always a sudden event, or is it a gradual process where time and place can be determined?
It varies from person to person, so this is not something fixed.
Question number 29. Does enlightenment always come with knowledge and certainty that this realization is unshakable?
Yes.
Question number 30. Does an arahant constantly experience bliss all the time, from time to time, or only while he is meditating in jhana?
His mind is totally, completely in total bliss all the time. But his body and his khanda can change. The feelings can still change according to the situations that come into play. But the mind will always be peaceful and happy without having to enter into jhana.
Question number 31. Is the bliss experienced by an arahant also felt in the body or only in the mind?
In the mind.
Question number 32. When a layperson attains arahantship, could the happiness experienced by that lay arahant lead to the impulse to celebrate life, to express the happiness, or would he see life as a burden?
Yeah, life is a burden. He sees the 5 khanda as suffering.
Question number 33. Does an arahant enjoy doing things, or he rather act only for the sake of acting, with peace but without enjoyment?
He has no cravings or desire to do anything. So whatever he do is usually do out of compassion.
Question number 34. If a lay person attain arahantship, will he or she enjoy establishing a family, taking care of the family, playing tennis, and so on?
No, he has no more cravings for family or for anything. He rather be alone.
And question 35, last question. Could an arahant have nightmare and experience dukkha while dreaming?
I don't know. You have to ask because I haven't taken any survey of all the arahants yet. So, because dreams are still under the 5 khandas. You use dreams through your thoughts and your perception. So each person's thought and perception can still be whatever it is. I don't know, so I cannot say for sure. All right? Thank you for all of your questions. And if you have any more questions, please send them in and we'll answer them the next time. In the meantime, be safe, be happy, and advance in your practice. Thank you and goodbye.